All right, we are here with boxing and MMA trainer Jeff Mayweather. Jeff, welcome and congratulations on your first UFC main card win last night.
Thank you.
All right, got a few questions for you. Can you just explain to us what was the whole experience like, you know, being involved in a UFC event?
Well, I mean, it was, to be honest, I was like, kind of like a little startled in the back room because I was talking to a lot of the MMA guys and I was watching how they was preparing for the fight, and they were like, seemed like they were really actually going at it pretty hard when they were preparing to go into the cage. And so, I mean, unlike boxing, you know, I didn't see, unlike boxing, you just hit pads, warming up your body, so you're ready to get ready for the fight, so you break a sweat. But I mean, they were actually going through the routine of, you know, what they're gonna do actually in the ring. So it was different for me. It was a different experience.
Yeah, compare it to like a boxing event. I guess it's probably somewhere in between like a smaller card fight and then, you know, like a Floyd fight that you've been to. So just explain the experience of, you know, the spectacle of the UFC and being involved in that.
Well, I mean, like I said, I mean, it was kind of cool. Like when I was like walking with Roy, it was kind of like you would hear people screaming his name, and also he had to take all these different back routes to get to the arena. So I mean, you know, it was like, you know, kind of like a huge event to me in that aspect. You know, and the way the people were gravitating to him, and I mean, he has a huge following. I mean, and of course, I mean, I've heard that, but you know, I got a chance to experience it.
Now, tell us a little bit about your actual role, you know, behind the scenes and at the event. You know, typically you're the main guy, you're the head trainer. This time you're more part of a team. So what was that like, and you know, what were some of the differences of approaching it that way?
Well, I mean, one thing about me is that I don't have an overbearing personality anyway, so being part of a team, I mean, I had no problem with it. And of course, these guys have been working with Roy for much longer than me. You know, I just happen to have more notoriety than them, but you know, the thing is this, is that they you know, they've been putting in the work for a long time, and so I was just happy to be a part of it and happy to add to, you know, to the team what I could.
All right, now obviously it was a really quick fight, just 51 seconds. But in the brief time that you were able to see anything in the fight, did you notice anything that, you know, maybe that you had worked with them that reflected in the ring?
Well, I mean, the only thing is that, I mean, what happened, I kind of predicted in a sense, because I told Roy that, you know, and this is what I tell every fighter, that, I mean, a short fighter fights a tall guy. He has to, you know, learn how to throw overhand right, and of course that's Roy's punches, his signature punch, and basically, you know, it happened, and it didn't necessarily happen because I taught him it, but, you know, it happened because he was aware of the fact that he also had to, you know, throw that punch against a taller guy. So, I mean, everything worked out well.
You know, you worked with King Mo obviously first, and then you had, you know, you work on Danny Castillo and Dillashaw, and then you have Roy Nelson here. You know, is this the start of something where we're going to see you working a lot more with the MMA fighters?
Well, I mean, I think so. I mean, I think that, you know, as long as they, you know, they want to retain my service, I mean, I'm willing to work with them, because, I mean, to me, fighting is fighting. You know, it's still, you know, they're both still the same to me.
Well, congratulations on your first victory. It's a pretty spectacular way to break into the UFC main card.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, you know, gratifying to, you know, and plus I was very happy for Roy, because, I mean, he's a guy that, you know, I mean, he gets a lot of flack, you know, but he does go against the grain a lot also. But, you know, it was great to see him get a win. I mean, he's a you know, very personable guy, and you know, friendly guy, and fun guy to get along with, and a pleasure to work with.
All right, well, thanks for your time, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Thank you.